All right, what's up, guys? What is going down? How's everybody doing tonight? How's the mic? Give me a little thumbs up. Give me a little thumbs up if you guys can hear me. We got some phones blasting over here. Turn that off, huh? All right, what up, Jeff? Thanks for the thumbs up. But how's everybody's week been? Anything exciting happened this past week? Jump in the chat and let us know. Anything you guys want to post up in the chat? Talk about that has been a good week. If you got something that went down this week that you're excited about, post it up in the chat. And in the meantime, let's see who's up in here. We got Big Feist. We got Adam out in Oklahoma City. Was in Massachusetts 2 days ago. Thank you, Jesus, huh? I bet, yeah, that storm back east is hitting. Yeah, I think I seen Deegan down in the Carolinas has got snow. My sister in Georgia, she got a little bit, not as much as Deegan got. It looked like Deegan got hit pretty hard. Big Feist got decent amount. Well, like a week or so ago, he got a couple inches. Maybe like 6 inches or something. We got Eric D, Monroe, MX Tips. What up? We got Big Brian. Man, COVID hit me. Hit me like 100 foot. Man, shout out for the wife. Dude, so Brian, man, hope you get better. Hope you feel better soon, dude. I know how that COVID feels. Not so fun. I'm trying to think what we might have took. If Mel hit us up after the chat, Mel's got some stuff. Get you on the oils, man. Get you on some stuff to help build up that immune system. We took some stuff while we had it, helped out. So I know we got some stuff here at the house. You need to come pick up that chain anyway, so we could get that chain to you and hook you up with some stuff. Might help out. Who else we got up in here? We got Jeremy. We got Monroe. Jeff, what up, what up? We got Big Mike. Sky, what up? Big Chris, DK. 12 inches. Feist got 12 inches of snow. That's a lot. 12 inches. We only got, we got maybe 3 to 4 inches at my house. And it's already starting to melt. Went up to 40 today. It's going to be 50s tomorrow. And then 40s again, I think, Wednesday. And then it drops back down to like the teens, 20s, 30s. Back on Thursday. So the weather's all over the place here in the Midwest. But let's see here. We're going to talk about the races tonight. We're going to talk about, you know what I was thinking about we should talk about? Because last week, obviously, we took our long break, and then I just jumped in. I was so pumped on the race and just getting back in. I didn't even talk about the New Year. Didn't talk about New Year. Didn't talk about goals. And I was thinking, New Year's always a time people set a lot of goals. So what goals are you guys setting for the new year? Throw it up in the chat. Because I'm a type of person that I've always had goals my whole life. I kind of like, growing up as a young racer, I think I set that goal that I wanted to be a pro when I was like 10. I'm like, man, this is what I want to do. And then I always was setting goals like throughout my whole life, whole career. And I still do it to this day. Even though I'm retired, I still have goals. And I have goals in every single area of my life. It's not just like, I don't just have riding goals or, life goals or whatever you want to say. But I have I'll have spiritual goals. I'll have personal goals. I'll have financial goals. I'll have, personal goals can break up into a couple different things, whether that's, maybe it's my fitness. That's personal, but, fitness goals. I've always had riding goals, obviously. Now I have coaching goals as where I'm at now, how I want to coach and things like that. But what type of goals are you guys setting? Because it's funny, like you go to the gym. I was actually surprised. The first day I went to the gym this year, it was actually, I thought it was going to be packed. I rolled up and I'm like, this place is going to be ridiculous. Because it's always usually January through like March. It's usually like hectic at the gym and then it kind of starts to filter off. And that's because everyone sets new goals. And they set like fitness goals. They're like, hey, I got to lose some weight, got to get in better shape, whatever. And the gym's packed. So what are you saying? I've got fitness goals for this year too. Look, Big Boy said buy more toys. Eat more Taco Bell. Hey. At least oh man. Hey, some things will never change with this light, huh? At least it went out early tonight. It usually waits until we get into it for about 20, 30 minutes. And then I don't know why it does that. It dims down halfway. I'll try to leave it on for a little while to let it heat up. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I need to invest in a new light. But anyway, I think that is something, obviously, first of the year is always probably a good time to start new goals. And if you have a goal, whether it's funny goal, serious goal, whatever, throw it up there. I'm gonna read through them. I like hearing what you guys are focused on, what you're trying to do. But there should be a goal for almost every part. Like I said, spiritual goal, and that's like, hey, I want to spend more time reading. I want to spend more time praying. Or maybe it's like, hey, I want to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation this year. Or I'm going to read the New Testament back to back for the entire year, all year long. And that's all I'm going to do. Or whatever you might pick. I've set goals like that, and I still do. And so you can have spiritual goals. You can have, like I said, you can have a personal goal, whether it's like, hey, maybe for me, like, hey, I need to be a better husband. Like, Mel, take that. Like, that's a personal goal. Like, hey, let me work on being a better husband. You know what I mean? So that's a personal goal. My fitness goals, I'm definitely trying to get in better shape this year. I feel like since I've retired from competing, I still train, I still ride, but here's the deal. I don't ride 5 days a week like I used to, and I don't train as hard as I used to, and I'm definitely not have been as disciplined in my eating and my diet and my supplements like I was when I was training. And I kind of like let that go over the last couple years. And this year I've really been like, you know what? Like it's weird how you just in your head you'll think like, oh, I'm 45, I'm getting old. Like, you just kind of like start believing these, like, I don't, if you want to say they're lies of the culture, like you're done at 45 and you can't be in shape no more and you might as well just not care about what you eat and and that's I'm like, dude, I'm not buying into all that stuff no more. Like, I want to be in better shape. I want to be disciplined on my diet like I was, get back to taking my supplements. Not that I don't have my supplements, but I'll skip them for 2-3 days. I'm like, man, I haven't been taking this. I got this. You know what I mean? I used to never miss nothing. I was so disciplined, and I've kind of not been as disciplined as I was when I was a competitor. And I think that's because of my mindset. I'm like, well, I don't really have to now, you know? And man, we talked about mindset on one of the episodes, I know. And it's so important, mindset, because when you get into that, well, I don't really have to do it, rather than like, no, I'm going to do this. You can easily let things go. And I feel like I've done that in a lot of areas of my life. And, you know, this year I'm like, you know what? I'm tightening up here. And so I've got all types of goals set up for myself, coaching goals. I don't really feel like I feel like my riding goals have shifted to coaching goals, because I was trying to think about it. I'm like, what are my riding goals? Other than like, yo, I just want to go home safe. That's my riding goal. Let me get home safe. I don't feel like I need to take any chances. I don't need to prove a thing to nobody at the track. I'm comfortable in who I am and how I ride, and I just want to be smooth. That's probably my goal. Be smooth and go home in one piece. But I really do have real coaching goals, like where I want to improve and how I can communicate with riders and just help other people. So that I feel like that shifted from probably my own personal riding goals to like shifting into coaching and trying to bring out other help people get to their goals and stuff. What else though? Financial goals. I'm big on finances. I love to budget. I love to see everything at the end of every month, know where everything's going. And I love setting financial goals, knowing like, hey, we're going to, save this much so we can invest here, whatever. So I think that's what I keep saying. I feel like there should be one for every area. And I think finances is a great place to be disciplined and to have goals. And I think we should evaluate ourselves as we go through the year. Just don't set the goal like, hey, here's the goal for the year, and maybe you break it up into your categories. Like here, I wrote spiritual, riding, maybe your job, finances, personal life, that type of stuff. Maybe you make a list, write them down, make a list. Here's my personal goal. Here's my fitness goal. Here's my riding goal, and maybe And maybe you got a job goal, like coaching for me is a job. So maybe you're like, hey, here's what I want to do. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it's I'm going to put in more hours, blah, blah, blah. So financial goal, write them all down, make a list, and then write them out. And then once you get them all written out, you can look at them. But then here's what I've learned through the years. If I just make the goal, but then I never really have some type of plan to actually get to it, it never really happens. I have to write out the goal and go, okay, here's where I want to go, but how do I actually get there? So then you got to come up with the plan. Like, okay, if and I'm just going to use an example. Let's just say like a kiss of death. And this is just riding goal. Because that was a real goal for me during my riding career, was to learn that trick. And it was really hard for me. So I basically said like, hey, I want to learn a kiss of death. There's the goal. But what was the plan in order to get to the kiss of death? Well, I was like, well, I got to learn Well, I got to learn how to do a Superman, right? Can't really do a kiss of death. So I said, hey, let me learn a Superman. Once I get a Superman, let me learn. And then I was like, well, how am I going to even learn a Superman? Well, I'm going to try 20 a day. I'm going to try to stay on that trick for 30 minutes. Because if anyone has ever tried to learn tricks, it's hard to stay in the uncomfortable zone for a long time. When you're trying to do something and it's hard and you're uncomfortable, you can easily get frustrated and just want to quit and say, okay, I can't do that trick. I give up and stop. Or you can push yourself to do, maybe your goal was to do 20 for the day. Or maybe your goal was just to try it for 30 minutes straight. Whatever that you might set, to stay in that and keep doing it through that period of feeling uncomfortable and it just not really going anywhere. But that's what I'm saying. You got to have the plan. Like, what is the plan? So I was like, hey, I'm gonna learn a Superman, but I'm gonna try it 20 to 30 a day, 30 minutes. I can't remember, it's so long ago. But it was structured like that because that's honestly how I learned all my tricks. I basically was like, I'm going to do X amount a day until I can figure it out. It took me 2 years to learn how to do that trick. But anyway, so write it down, come up with the plan how you're going to get there, but then you have to take action because I know people. I'm not going to throw someone under the bus. If someone's coming to my mind right now, someone I know really well. They're actually really good at coming up with the goal or the idea. Here's what we got to do. Here's how we got to get it done. Here's the plan, and then do nothing, and then never get anything done. So it's not just enough to set the goal and have the plan to get to the goal. You actually got to do it. And that takes discipline. I mean, we talked about that before, mindset, discipline, all that stuff. You got to make sure you take those. And it has, in my opinion, like if you're really going after something, you really want something, it should be something that you work towards on a daily basis. It shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to try once a month, once a week. Like if it's really important to you, it becomes a daily like habit. Make it a habit. Turn things into build good habits, turn things into habits. And when you do that little by little step, a little bit each day, like I was saying with that kiss of death, you do that. Let's just say my strategy, I think it was like 15 to 20 a day. Maybe it was 30 minutes. Probably took me 30 minutes to do that anyway. But anyway, let's just say I took 30 minutes a day that's the thing. I did that for 2 years. I took 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and tried one thing for 2 years, and I finally got it. And it went it slowly went up. It didn't just go overnight like that. So just know things don't just happen overnight. It is a process. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, just even thinking about Christian Craig and where he's at in his career. I think he's a great testimony of a process, of someone of perseverance. Because, dude, it's a long time to get to where he's at, but he finally is where I think he wanted to be for all these years. But look how long it took him to get there. And another thing, just going back to goals, is I like to set realistic goals. And whether that's like you want to call them short-term goals or long-term goals, but I like to set goals that I can hit. Because if you set these big, super crazy goals that are like, maybe they're great to have big goals, like, hey, I want to go for this, but sometimes if you don't have those intermediate, smaller goals, realistic goals that you actually can hit along the way, you can get discouraged and feel like you failed and you never got to the goal and you give up. So I like to have goals that are actually like, hey, I know I can get to that, so let me just hit that. And then it motivates me, okay, and then I build the next one. So I like to take like set the big goals, short term, if you want to call it long-term goal, short-term goal. I like to call it realistic goal. You got big picture goal, but hey, this is my near future goal. I'm going after that one. This is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take those steps every day. And then when I get it, that's going to create more momentum and motivation that I can move on to the next step. So, and then take a nice little inventory at the a quarter, every 3 months. Look at where you're at. You can look at every little area of your life. You can look spiritually. If you have spiritual goals, how am I growing in God? Have I been growing? Am I maturing? Blah, blah, blah. And you can go, man, I am. Hey. Or you can be honest with yourself and say, dude, I'm not growing right now. I'm not in the Word like I want to be, and get back into the Word. Or same thing, like, how am I doing with this fitness goal? Have I really been, did I kick off drinking all the beer or whatever? Did I kick off eating sugar or cookies or whatever it might be? Like, we all have our little crutches and weaknesses that we give into, and sometimes you just got to go, I need to get that out, because I'm not going to get in the shape that I want to get in eating cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to happen, dude. So then you can just evaluate where you're at and I've always learned, like, when I'm honest with myself and I admit that I'm like, hey, that's an area that I'm weak, an area that I need help, area that I need to strengthen, as long as I'm honest with myself and recognize it and then focus on it, you could take any area of your life and you can make it from a weak point to a strong point. And the reason why I know that, and just going back to that kiss of death, I could not do a Superman to save my life. Couldn't even do a Superman. Couldn't even get my feet above the seat. I used to try to do it, and I would kick down by the number plates. That's how bad of a Superman I could do when I first start trying to learn this trick. It went from the hardest trick for me to my easiest trick in 2 years. And I could do it. It was my go-to trick. Every time I needed to just flick a trick off a jump, or if a jump was hard to trick, I was always knew. I'd be like, I'll just do a kiss of death over that trick. It became my easiest trick. But the reason was that repetition of just constant, I'm going to just do it over and over and over, and took a weakness and made it a strength. So write it down, come up with the plan, and then take action, and then take inventory, and be real with yourself, and be okay, when you see yourself, and be okay if you see yourself not where you want to be. Let that motivate you to keep going. And then when you're getting to where you go, keep reaching for that bigger goal. So I want to read some of your goals, because I think it is important in life, man. I don't think you can get too many places. Like this is biblical. The biblical says, the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. And it's basically saying, like, if you don't have a vision for your life, you ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna happen, dude. You gotta have a vision. You gotta have a plan. You gotta have some focus on where we're trying to head. So where are we going? Let's see. See, look at Adam, 120 grand this year. I think that's an awesome goal, dude. Did that come up on the screen? I'm trying to kick your thing up. Why is that not showing? Oh, there it goes. I love financial goals, dude, because it's good. You make money, you can save money, and then you can invest money, and then you can create financial freedom and all that stuff for yourself and your family. So I think that's a great goal, and I think that's finances is a great place that we all should be disciplined in. We should manage our money. God has given all of us things. He's given us all things, and He's given us the ability to manage these things. So what God has given us, we got to manage, and money is one of those things He's given us. So how are we going to manage it? So you gotta steward it well. So I like knowing everything, and I've gotten more disciplined in my older years. When I was younger and big contracts, I was kind of like paid the bills and just kept traveling, kept making money, and stacked it up, and did my thing. But now, the older I got and the contracts aren't around now I'm really like, I love crunching numbers, and I want to know where everything's going, and I'm going to keep a tight budget and know, like, hey, let's put this here, let's invest that there, let's do this, do that, and keep it growing. And same thing, I say, hey, we made this last year, let's make this year. Let's work harder. Let's do this. Awesome. So good goal for Adam there, putting a number on it. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody above him. I don't see anything above him. Jeff's saying focused on getting healthier. I bet every one of you guys, I'm probably with you on all that. I'm on the same one as I have a financial goal too, and I have a number in my mind too. Same thing. I'm like, I'm hitting this. It's my goal for the year. And same thing, I'm on the health tip too. I'm cleaning up the diet, and I'm getting more disciplined, and I'm gonna train harder. Like, I go to the gym. You guys see me in the gym. You follow me. I'm on the bicycle all the time. I train in the gym. I lift, but I don't push it as hard as I can. That's what I'm saying. I get there and kind of not necessarily cruise through my workouts, because I still feel like I work out. I feel like I just don't push myself to the point of like to where I'm like the workout is want to where it's so hard that I don't want to do it. I've done that in the past. That's what I'm saying. I don't train like that no more. So I'm like, all right, let's just step it up a notch. I don't have to go kill myself anymore, but let's just go hard. Let's go harder than we've been going. Better diet with Brian on that. I'm cutting out the sugars. Get rid of sugars, and we don't really do dairy, but I feel like over the holidays, I feel like I'd let dairy slide in a little bit with the sweets and the stuff here and there. So I'm trying to make sure, like, get all that stuff back out. Big fights the same, buy more toys. Wait, that's it. Deep K, hold up. Wait, was to quit ciggies. So that's a great one right there, dude. Quit ciggies. That's an awesome one, DK. So, and that's a tough one, dude. I never smoked cigarettes, but I used to dip. So I chewed tobacco, and that one's, it's the same thing. It's nicotine. So that one can be tough to quit, but definitely cold turkey is the way I had to quit most of the things in life. I've just been like, you know what? I just got to stop it. And then try not to give in to the temptation. And it's a battle sometimes, but you can do it. You can do it, dude. Just don't go buy them. Big Fights is getting more toys, of course. You got enough toys, dude. Adam's going to Taco Bell. All right, so ED, he says goals to graduate school, read more. Oh, read the word more. So there's a spiritual goal, graduate. And he's been in college. He's Bible college, so that's good. Reading the word's awesome. Spiritual goal there. Get her at building good habits. Great goals as well. We can never get too good at building good habits in our life. Here you go. Brian's saying, donate my time to the homeless. That's awesome right there. So good goal to have. We got Logan here, focus on my fitness, going to be focusing on racing career. Again, after finishing physical therapy, going to go really hard. So that's another awesome one. Logan here, fitness and racing. Spring. Hey, this is pretty fun. So I don't know if you guys know what he's talking about. So he's saying might spring for the R26. So there's a crossbow made by Raven, and it's the R26. Like I wanted to buy it simply because it was the R26. I'm like, dude, that's my crossbow. And Big Fights is trying to buy my crossbow, dude. R26, come on. But it's like their newest one they got, and it's pretty sick. So Big Fights is too funny. I'm taking his old one, just so you know. He already offered it up. So I will be upgrading my crossbow. So if anybody's looking for, the old one's for sale. So if anybody's looking for a nice crossbow, I have a, what is that thing, Fights? It's an Enforcer. It's a Parker Enforcer. It comes with arrows. We got a hard case, soft case. It's really nice. If anyone's looking for a crossbow, it's great condition. I'm upgrading to Big Fights has got the new, I think he's got the R29, and now he's trying to get the R26. I'm taking his R10. He's bumping me up. Big Fights has always been generous. He's been a generous dad since I've known him. So he's hooking me up. First crossbow was from him. The Parker's from him. Now I'm getting the Raven. So I'm excited. Send that thing out here, dude. I'm ready to start practicing for next year already. I'm hyped. Season's over. It ended last week. And I'm 0 for 2 on the Missouri side and 2 for 2 on the Kansas side. So hey, hunting goal. I didn't even have that on the list. I need to put that on the list. Hunting goal. Kill a Missouri buck next year. I need a Missouri buck for the wall because we'll have a Kansas buck on the wall from this year right next to that Jersey buck. So that means Kansas buck is next in line. Then I need to make a trip to Ohio with Big Fights and Gary and put an Ohio buck on the wall. All right, we got Chris P here. Travel more. Hit quotas for work. See, look, these are great goals. Better shape. Get to the dirt bike track more often. Hey, I agree with that one too. Me too. On the dirt bike. I know. Always have a goal to ride more, and I feel like since I moved here, I'm never riding as much as I want. So hey, I love all those. Good stuff. Controlling my affairs, more community planning, becoming to this Tommy Shea, becoming financially set by back pay, and having absolute love in my heart. That's a great one right there, dude. Absolute love. That's funny. I was reading, I've been in the small little books of the Bible. I just read 1st, 2nd, 3rd Peter, and then I was in 1st John. I read what is there, 3 of them? And that was like the whole thing John was talking about. It's right before Jude. Actually, I read Jude today too. I was cruising. They're little books. You can rip through these things in a second. Jude's what? 1 chapter. 1st John, or John 3, 1 chapter. John 2, 1 chapter. 1st John, 5 chapters. But anyway, the whole point is that was one of the points they were making. Walk in love. It's one of the things that that God wants his people to walk in love. So I think that's a great goal right there, to have a humility, a humble heart, and a humble spirit, and learn how to love people. Because it's hard in this world that we live in these days. That's for sure. So easy to just get mad at what you see going on and mad at people and get divided so easily. And that's what I feel like the agenda of a lot of people are too, especially the media, is just cause so much division and hate. And God's like, no, I want you to go the opposite direction and learn how to walk in humility and love. So it's tough. All right, so we'd say, how many years have you been a Metal Militia now? How many years have you been in the Moto Militia now? Man, I was a part of the Moto Militia since the day it started. I mean, it wasn't a company until 1999, but I moved in with Deegan in 1997, and we were riding it on our dirt bikes in like maybe 98-ish, or maybe it was 97. We didn't even have stickers yet. We rode it on our dirt bike in Magic Marker. So since the very beginning. I mean, it's not really a company. I mean, it's still around, but I feel like it's not like it was. So I don't know if I mean, if you want to count do the math from now on, I don't know. It's not like it was. So I don't feel like the crew has just kind of went its own ways. But hey, when it was in its prime, it was awesome because it really was. It became a clothing brand, but it never was about the clothing brand. It was always about the friends. It was about the group of friends, and we had such a tight group of friends, me, Deegan, Twitch, and that's what made it, and that's what the best part about it was, just riding together and hanging out together and touring together. That was Moto Militia, and it became a clothing company, and then I feel like through the years it just kind of fell apart, and it kind of sucks. I kind of wish it would have stayed together. It actually would have been cool if it all would have stayed together, and to this day that crew was still together, and we could be like retired and maybe like have our own supercross team. That would be pretty sick. We could just go to the races, manage a supercross team, help other guys hit their goals. Like, that would be sick. That'd be fun. But all good. Let's see. All right, so I'm just seeing a lot of questions pop up now. All right, so let's jump in, and because we'll get to the questions. We'll open it up to questions here. I just wanted to hear some of you guys' goals for the year. But let's jump in and talk about the race for a second. Make sure it's Oakland. So what are you guys' thoughts on Oakland? And I'm going to, if I can find them, let's pull up the 250 results. All right, so what are you guys' I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the chat because I know there's some questions in there, but I'll get back up to them. Yeah, happy birthday, Monroe. Cool with the shout out right here. It is Seth Enslow's birthday, so we're giving him a shout out. I actually lived with Seth. I lived with Deegan first, but then me and Seth moved into Carrie Hart's house in Corona for maybe a year or two together. And Seth was an awesome roommate, awesome dude. Dude's from the East Coast, from Pennsylvania. So super humble dude, and I love that guy. Had a lot of awesome memories with him because all my Crusty tour trips that I ever did with the Crusty guys, Seth was on every one. So me and Seth toured all over together with the Crusty guys. So I have tons of memories, and he's a fun dude to hang out with. So, hey, good times. Happy birthday, brother. And if you haven't, his page got hacked, like his Instagram got hacked a couple months ago. So if you guys aren't following him, I think his new page is Seth Enslow the Hard Way, or Seth the Hard Way, one or the other. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, go on there and give him a follow. Wish him a happy birthday. And go support his merch, too. He's got some cool merch. Oh, and our merch, the 20% off New Year's sale goes, I think, till midnight tonight, East Coast, or my time. So if you guys want to get last-minute merch, go to RonnieFaisstMX.com. 20% off, and it's at checkout. You don't need a thing. So do that as well. And check out Seth's stuff. I've seen a couple of his shirts, and I'm like, I'm going to buy some too. Because I'm like, dude, that's a legendary shirt. That's like cool. I'm like, I just want that for a collector's item just to have for myself. So check out some of his stuff. He's got some cool stuff up on his site and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to scroll down here so I can just read some of your comments about the race. What do you guys think? So Shimoda, yep. MX Tip is saying Shimoda shows that he's ready. I believe that. I believe he was definitely showing tons of potential. One of your goals is not following. Hey, that's probably one I should work on there, ED. I'll be honest with you. I fell asleep again. Who else is let's be honest, who else has made it? If you live in the Midwest or on the East Coast, did you really make it to the main events? I didn't. I didn't make it. First 2 weeks, I didn't even see the 450 LCQ. I made it to the 250 LCQ, and I was out. They come on too late right now, dude. So I've been watching them. I watched them the next day, Sunday. I watched like one football game, then I turned on the race and watched the races, and I watched another football game. All right, so let's see. LCQ 450 was off the hook. Actually, we'll talk about that because who knows who's the dude who got super squirrely in the 450 class, who was in qualified position, darted the dude out for third, knocked him down, and then basically crashed 2 more times. He was the guy, like, in the last corner. You see him come ragdolling into the screen on the Cowie. Who was that dude? I can't remember. He's like a 3-digit dude. He's privateer for sure, but man, I feel like he blew it. He was in 4th, if I remember correctly, and he darted, forced it. He was in. And he, Breeze? Was that who it was? Poor Breeze. Dude, you should have just chilled. You would have made it in, bro. And then he, ragged off. Well, I don't know, because he did crash 2 other times. He had a rough day, but hopefully he's all right and he'll be back. But anyway, let's look at these results. And then if anybody has anything else to say, it's way too late for East Coast. I agree with that. Big Feist fell asleep. What's the best place for replay? I have Peacock. So Peacock, it records it and you can just go back and watch it all. So, and it's only like $5 a month, or I believe so. I think that's what we were paying last year and it just renewed. So I haven't checked it this year to see if that's what they're still charging us, but I think it's only like $5 a month. It's pretty cheap. Peacock, and you can get a bunch of other stuff with Peacock, but we just use it for the races. So Breeze, it was Breeze that got aggressive on the Yamaha 200 lives in Washington. All right, so Breeze was on the Yamaha. He took out 227 or 722. I thought he was on a Cowie. Oh man, dude. It was aggressive. All right. Yeah, Peacock $4.99. All right, that's the deal. All right. Well, so anyway, the 450. So, all right, let's just go to the 250 class. Before we get to the 450 or 250 main, who won the heat races? I think it was, did Shimoda win a heat race? Or no. Mosselman did, right? Mosselman and Craig, I believe. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know, because I can't. If I don't take notes, I'm not remembering. I didn't take notes. I was like, I'll remember. And no, I'm not. Let's be honest with myself. There's a new goal. Take notes when I watch races, because I'll forget by Moto Monday. Yeah. But anyway, I believe that's who won the heat races. And then here we are. This is main event. We got Craig, Lawrence, Hammaker, Mosselman, Thrasher, Freeze, Shimoda. And I think Shimoda is showing a ton of potential. Marchbanks, top 8. But look at this lap time here. 59.9. He's the only two. I don't know if anyone beat this lap time during the day qualifiers, but he's the only 250 to get under a minute. And this is where some of the 450 guys were. So that's pretty impressive, in my opinion, to be on a 250 and actually put a lap time down in the 450 range. So that's pretty sweet. And then you can kind of see his gap here. So he won by 5.5 seconds lead over Lawrence, and almost a 10-second lead over third. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he lapped up to almost like the top 10. I remember I was watching, and I kept seeing the down one, and I feel like did he lap top 10, or did he get 11th? Does anybody remember? But anyway, that's pretty gnarly when you're ripping that bad that you can pretty much lap almost half the pack. But I'm saying we want to talk about Craig a little bit. I think, and hold on, let's get rid of this for a second while we're talking about him. Let's pop up the 250 points. So here we can just look at the points and kind of see where we're at. Up by 8, up by 16 on third, and I mean, it's pretty tight through here still. I mean, it's early. We got a long, long season ahead of us. But what I was saying about Craig earlier is, like, think about how long has Craig been in the 250 class? Does anybody know these things? Long time, right? 10 plus years. But think about that. Like, his goal since he's been in that class is, hey, I want to win, right? Everyone in races want to win a championship. Look how long it's taken him to get to that goal. And I guarantee you he's had a plan and a process the whole way, and it didn't happen overnight. Like a long, long journey, highs, lows, injuries, all these setbacks. And he's, in my opinion, he's probably in the best place of his career to win the championship. And I think he can do it. If Craig stays up, doesn't get hurt, if he keeps getting out to the early starts like he's been to, he gets out front early, and if you watch him, he gets out a big gap right off the bat, and he rides really laid back, and he looks like he's not even trying, he's just chilling. no pressure, able to get in his own pace. I feel like if he does that, dude, he could probably wrap this championship up. But I don't think everyone's gonna give it to him. I think you gotta. I feel like there's gonna be these dudes are gonna go for it. But I feel like Craig definitely is off to a good start, and he looks super smooth. So if I was to pick one guy early in the season, I'd say, hey, he's the guy that probably right now looks the strongest. But I still think Hunter Lawrence, Mosselman. I think all these dudes. I even think we're gonna see Shimoda on the podium. I know we're gonna see Mosselman up there, Lawrence up there for sure, Hammaker. Definitely gonna see those dudes on the podium. They all got it. Let me see. Jumping back in here. 12 years. V-Dub's saying he's been in the class for 12 years. West Coast is over 28. So he's, yep. Scotty Sheik. I'll say, wait, was that say Scotty Sheik number one? Shout out to our boy Scotty Sheik. Hey, so and V-Dub said he's happy to see Stank Dog making it on the 125. That's pretty sweet. That's funny. Stank Dog out there representing, dude. So he was the dude on the 125, made the main event. All right, so let's jump off. And any other thoughts on the 250 class? What are you guys thinking? Ever checked out? I've never checked that out. So here's something maybe you guys can check out. Might be cool. Another little chat. David Bailey and Ping are doing on Whiskey Throttle Show. Never checked it out. So I bet it's cool. David Bailey and Ping, legends in the game. David Pingree, if you guys don't know who Ping is. David Bailey, definitely a legend. Champion from the 80s. I went to his dad's motocross school. It was his stepdad, actually. But all right. Let's jump. Oh, dude. I feel like I did that last week, didn't I? I got to stop messing everything up, dude. I'm just going to exit out. Just get off the page. I'm messing you up. All right, let's pull 450s here. Dude, come on. Look at it. Anderson, Plessinger, Barsha, Tomac, Stewart, Ferrandez, Webb, and Muscan. Top 8. And I'm telling you what, I'm super, super pumped for Anderson. And I feel like we were just talking about that last week. I said, hey, who I thought looked the most comfortable on the guys who switched bikes was Anderson. And he came out this week, wadded it up during qualifying. And if you guys saw the post, aired it off the Tough Blog and looped out. But, dude, he schooled him in the main. Look at his lap time, 59.7. So, you remember, Craig was a 59.9. So, that's pretty impressive. Look, 59.7, 59.7, 59.7. The top three guys pretty much running the same pace. And then the fastest dude on the track's Tomac, 59.5. And then Craig was a 59.9. And then, look, Stewart, Ferrandez, at a minute, 0.5, or minute 6, whatever, right there. But anyway, let's see. Anderson won by almost 3.5 seconds. 6 seconds over third. But like I said, he looks super smooth and icy out there. Cool to see. But the thing is if you notice, some of these guys didn't, I think other than Barsha. Barsha was up there last week, but Anderson and Plessinger weren't up there. I mean, Roxton ain't even in he crashed. He's not even in the top 10. So there was a switch from some of the guys who were way back. And Tomac, I don't feel like Tomac did that. What did Tomac get last week? I can't remember. But I don't feel like he was really far up there either, was he? Dang. I ain't going to remember all this stuff. But anyway, definitely seeing guys kind of shuffle around right now in these early rounds. It's going to come down to consistency. We all know that. You can't win a championship without being consistent. It's how Cooper Webb does it. Dude just gets on the podium all the time. All right, so look who is in the lead in the 450 class. Barsha taking the lead. Anderson jumps all the way up to second. Roxon falls all the way back to fifth. Plessinger, Webb in there as well. Tomac, Muscan, Stewart. Sexton, we didn't talk about it. Sexton won it. So he races in the 450 was what? Sexton? And did Tomac win? Tomac won, right? I feel like it was Sexton and Tomac. I feel like you're going to see Sexton on the podium when he gets works himself out a little bit. He just needs to stop crashing. He's got it. This dude's going to be a champion. if I could pick of the next dude up and coming, this is my guy. I'm putting. I mean, I ain't putting money on nobody for real, but if I was to put money on somebody, I think this dude can do it in the years to come. I don't know if this year. Well, let's see. Let's see how the years go. It's early, and look, 42 is the point lead, and look, 3, 5, 6, 8. I mean, he's down by 10. Like, it's so early. Like, this could all shift. I feel like this is up for grabs. Everything is up for grabs right now. But I do like Chase Sexton, just his fluid style and effortlessness. But, I love Roczen and Anderson. I talk about it all the time. I just like how loose he is. And I've gotten to hang out with Anderson quite a bit on some Rockstar events. We went out to Akatia Wells on a Rockstar trip before. We did this big Rockstar UTV tour where we drove across the desert, and all the team guys were there, both Supercross, Moto. It was fun, and so I got to know him a little bit, and he's super, super cool and laid back. So I tell you, I connect with people. I like you. Same thing with Malcolm Stewart. Got to go to Europe with him. So always pulling for guys that I've obviously met, just because I told you I like people for personality. Above all things. All right. So what are your thoughts on the 450 class before we turn it over, and we'll answer some questions for the last few minutes? But who do you guys got? What do you think? Who's your guy? Stank Dog? Is Stank Dog D. Francisco? So that D. Francisco is the amateur rider coming up. He won that. They're doing that kind of like day race where they have like a new series for the up-and-coming guys. He is definitely a guy to watch, and he's got a ton of skills. So he's an up-and-comer for sure. And he had a 105.4. Hey, not bad. Not bad for he's an amateur, right? But I feel like he raced outdoors last year, didn't he? So I think there's a rule. You might be able to race some of the pro outdoor nationals and then still, because I feel like I've seen that guy at a couple nationals. Anyway, all right, so we got Rob's on the 23 or the 14. His picks. What else you guys got? You think Plessinger? Who's got championship? Here's the deal. Like, I think there's a whole lot of guys that can get on that podium, but who has the consistency to win the championship? Because I think that's a different game. I feel like there's probably we pulled that list back up and looked like who has the ability to get on the podium. It's probably 10 dudes, probably even more. 10 or more guys that had enough speed and talent to get on this podium. Let's look at it. Look, Barsha, Anderson, Webb, Plessinger, Roczen, Tomac, Muscan. So I feel like every one of these dudes could probably get on the podium. But who could win the championship is the question, because that's the harder part. How many rounds is there? 17 weeks? 17 weeks. Let's see. Outdoors, Kitchen was 147. Yep. Kitchen is sick. He was at Loretta's. I think it was his last year at Loretta's, and then he did race outdoors. He's sick, too. He's bad. He's going to be ripping. I like how Anderson is throwing around that 250 DK. I agree. Anderson is super fun to watch. Hey, what up, Howard? All good. Glad you made it. All right. So Rob's going with the 1. He's saying Cooper Webb is the man to beat this year. Hey, I can't knock Webb. Like I said, dudes wins championships. All right, let's scroll up. We got a few minutes here. So if you got a question and you're new here, just throw it up in the chat with some question marks so I can find it. Let me see. And then, all right. Quick question. Who's your guys? I know it's a NFL playoffs. Are you guys only moto dudes? Or are you guys moto football? Who's your team? Who you pulling for? I'm scrolling back down because I want to see. Who's your team? I'm going Chiefs. You know that. I live in Kansas. Come on. Who's your team? If you got a football team, because there's a game on tonight. It's actually on right now. We got the Cardinals versus who the Cardinals playing? The Rams. Who's your team? Big Feist's team's out. The Eagles are out. Feist, you're out. So now I guess you're going for the Chiefs now? Take your second team? So Rob's just moto. He's like, I don't got time for football. Hey, I didn't watch football until I retired. Moto only. All right, hey, moto. This is Moto Monday. You're like, God, don't talk football. Eagles. Hey, I enjoy watching it, dude. I'm getting old. Entertainment, dude. It's fun when you have a team to cheer for. It's like NASCAR. You got to have somebody to cheer for. All right. Alrighty, let's get up to these questions here. We're going to talk some moto talk. Let's go racing. All right. How many years? And if I miss someone, because it's hard to, I'm trying to scroll up as far as I can to see. And this is the first question mark I'm seeing. So if I missed your question because I didn't go back far enough, just throw it back up. How many years have you been in Militia? Got that one. What is your favorite trick to do? I think that kiss of death, that I was talking about earlier, is my go-to trick. Like I said, it was one of the hardest tricks for me to learn, and it became one of the easiest tricks for me to do. And that was just through time and repetition, practice. And super fun. And I ever get a ramp set back up, I'll probably be trying to do a few of those. It's a fun trick, and it looks cool. KOD, the kiss of death. MX tips here. Have you ever used the front brake to brake tap? Yes, not on purpose. It's sketchy as hell, dude. I would never even tell people to try to learn how to just brake tap in general for this. So here's what I'm saying. Using the back brake to bring the front down is a backup, emergency only. Don't get in the habit of dropping the front end with your rear brake all the time. You should be able to rotate your bike off the jump naturally with body position and the way you ride. It's a jump and do this. Don't go and then hit the back brake every single time you get in a jump. And I don't never use my front brake ever, and I don't never want to, because I don't know if you ever tried it, but if you do hit your front brake, it locks the front wheel. And when the front wheel stops rotating, it fully makes the front end dive and turn and throws you off balance. So it's super sketchy. So no, I don't do that. Don't want to do that. I've hit it a couple of times on freestyle tricks by accident. Like, you'd be up doing a cliffhanger, and then you come to bring your hands back down to the bars real fast, and you'll tap your front brake with your finger, and it locks the front end, and it's sketch. So I would say definitely don't try to get in the habit of jamming on your front brake in the air to bring the front end down, because it's probably going to make you crash. And then stay away from the back brake just for emergency onlys. Emergency onlys. It's backup. It's like, oh crap, I'm way out. I got to get the front end down. But that's it. Learn how to rotate the bike with the proper position is the correct way to get the front end down. All right, Stank Dog. A little shout out for Stank Dog. Never met Stank Dog. But he's blowing up, dude. Out there killing it. Mel is doing good. So Eric D saying, how's Mel doing after accident? She is doing well. Pretty much back to normal for the most part. She's going to do a follow-up with the, what do we call the bone doctors? I can't even think of it. Orthopedic. She'll follow up the orthopedic to check on her thumb. But overall, I think she's good to go. Just needs a little bit more time to heal, because it's still a little sore, but she broke it. It takes time. It's 6 to 8 weeks to heal, and I don't even think it's been that long. So she got a little time to go. Oh, man. Brian's back in bed, man. Well, we hope, Brian. Thanks for hanging out, Brian. Hope you feel better, dude. I know having the virus is not fun. I've had it. Not fun. So get some rest and shoot me a text, and we'll see if we got some supplements that'll help boost up that immunity, your immune system for you. I know we got some stuff. I haven't been pretty much sick at all, not even a cold. Every time I feel like I'm getting sick, I got these little oils. Mel's big on the oils. I rub them on. I ain't been sick yet. And I don't plan on getting sick. That's why I would take them. All right. Eric making fun of me again for falling asleep. Yeah, I didn't. I'm giving Stank Dog all the love, because hey, it's way harder to ride a 125 on a Supercross. That's what I rode on a Supercross season. Way harder to ride. He's giving the dudes on a 250F such a big advantage over him to ride on a 125. They get way more torque, way more traction, way easier to ride, way easier to get through the rhythm, the jumps, the whoops. He's just giving up a lot. So to get him in the main, that's pretty cool. So we got DK. The replay, go to Peacock. Yeah, Peacock. All right, that's the one we were talking about, the 450 crashes. Yeah. I'm just trying to find a question. Any questions? Pop them up. I think it was when I was asking all you. This is all the answers to all the questions I asked you guys. See, look, Jeremy said, Moto mostly, not much football for me. I get it, dude. Big fights on the eye. All right, here we go. Skalansky. What's this? Wrongly assaulted by Skalansky, Officer Skalansky. Jefferson Feist. Jefferson, it's Joseph. Ronald Joseph Feist. He said Jefferson. That's too much. It's good stuff. That's too funny. This is old skit, if anybody's wondering who Officer Skalansky is. So, old-time moto videos with me and Deegan. Deegan was played Officer Skalansky in an old skit we did in a video. Pretty funny. Was that Stank Dog was at the FCM in Oklahoma when we were there. Oh, was he? How did I not miss Stank Dog? Or I don't think I met him, dude. Shoot. Or maybe I did and didn't realize I was talking to Stank Dog. Is that his last name or is that his nickname? It's got to be his nickname. What's his real name? I don't remember him, dude. Shoot. All right, so LA's up 7-0 for those who want a football update. I think anybody cares. They're over it. Looks like time. Yeah, so everyone's checking out the R26. All right, guys. Well, shoot. We're wrapping up here. We got about 5 minutes left. But, yeah, I don't even know how to say his last name. I'm not even going to try, dude. I'll mess it up. Garrett? All right. Well, I might have met him, dude. You know how it is. You meet people all the time, and the hardest part about meeting people is remembering their names. I don't forget faces, though. I have to know that. All right, guys. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we can just wrap it up a few minutes early here this week. So stanky. So if you got one, any last question, throw it up. If not, we're gonna be back same time, same place next week, 7 p.m. Central Time. Moto Monday. We'll be here every week. What's coming up? What's coming up this week? What's the race? Arizona? Not sure. Oh, real quick though, for the California people, if you're out in California, I brought it up last week, but I booked my flight, so it's all 100% locked in. I'm gonna be at Fox Raceway on February 11th doing privates. So I've only got 2 spots left. So I've already booked up a couple spots. I got 2 spots left. If you want, if you want to get more information on it, you can just email me at info@ronniefeistmx.com. I'll tell you what the time slots are and rates and all that stuff. If someone wants to get out there and do some one-on-one training, they're 2-hour slots. So got 2-hour slots left. So, and then that's it. And then I'll be at the races. I'll be at A3. So if you're going to the races and you see me, come say what up. Come say what up. Say, yo, I'll hang out on Moto Monday with you. Be good to put some faces with some of these names on here. Other than that, we will be back, like I said, next week, same place, same time. Last little question here. What is your favorite sponsorship back in the day and why? I got to give a shout out to Rockstar Energy. That's it. They were my title sponsor for 10 plus years, and they did me well. Let's say that. So all good. Shout out to Rockstar, always being there. And they gave me a chance to go race off-road when I got done being in freestyle and I wanted to try to do something else. They didn't have to do that. I wasn't an off-road driver. I had no experience in off-road, and they actually gave me a chance and tried. And so I think that's cool for companies to try to see if you can kind of move over to another sport, which is very hard. But anyway, thanks for being here. We will be back next week. So stay blessed, ride safe, and thanks again hanging out. And don't forget, the sale goes to midnight tonight. at RonnieFeistMX.com. 20% off at checkout. Thanks again for supporting the channel and supporting the merch. See you guys next week. Much love. Peace out.